Welcome everyone, it's Shanice, aka Achana Irie, aka Pineapple Styles, and welcome back to another video. This is an example of a mixed child who has type 4 hair, and I just wanted to put that type of representation out on the tube. So watch me do my client that has type 4 hair. Alright, so let's start with the hair facts, okay? As you can tell, she has very high density hair, but you can kind of see from her hairline and throughout that she has fine strands of hair, which is very common for tighter textures. Why? Because the shape of the follicle is what determines the curl pattern. So that tighter texture and that differently shaped follicle creates fine hair strands essentially. So when you're washing the hair, you want to make sure you completely soak it with water. In her case, her hair is a little more high porosity, so you really want to soak it down with the water and then separate the hair into different sections as you go through to apply the shampoo. Make sure it's actually getting to the scalp so that their scalp can be thoroughly cleaned, and you do want to shampoo twice. When you shampoo, you want to make sure you bring the shampoo through the hair strands to make sure there is no buildup, and that will allow the hair to exist in its healthiest state. So as you can see, I'm starting my detangling process with the shampoo. This helps prevent the crying and the screaming because you're taking out a lot of those tangles from before you apply the conditioner. All right, now we're getting into the conditioning process. This is actually a real-time clip. I didn't even realize I had one of these, so I had to make sure I insert that in there. But essentially, I am doing her steam deep conditioning treatment. I am applying the Amika Nourishing Mask, the Soul Food Mask, to her hair, and it's a very concentrated product. You'll see it in my salon interactive list. If you click the link in my bio to my link tree, you'll see my product recommendations, and you'll see it's pretty pricey. So it's not something you want to use a lot of. It's concentrated professional product. So you're going to take a nice glob, apply it to the hair, and then wet down the hair to really be able to spread it through. But as you can see, I'm taking my time and just detangling. I like to use multiple tools to detangle, but you can tell that the comb is already starting to glide through her hair. So first, I start with a wide tooth comb and just start from the ends and work my way up, taking my time, and I make sure to hold the section of hair, like a good grip on it, so that when there's any pulling, the child won't feel it on their scalp, because that's what creates all the issues. And then after I'm finished with my wide tooth comb, I'm going to take my unbrush, which, mind you, this thing blew up this year. I've had this this tool for like the last 2 years, but anyway, I'm going to take my unbrush and get to brushing. So if you have problems with detangling, I always recommend using multiple tools, taking lots of sections, and starting from the widest tool to the smallest or like most tightly teethed tool. I don't know the best way to say that, but I think you get what I mean. The shampoo process is complete and I am moisturizing her hair. As you can tell, my girl got them super tight curly coils, okay? And her hair is beautiful as it is, all right? But people expect that when your child is mixed, that they're gonna all have that very loose curly hair or straight or wavy hair. You never know. It's a toss-up. It's genetics, y'all. So it's definitely important to make sure that you set yourself up for the right expectations in terms of being open to whatever their hair is gonna look like, and just learn about it as you go. But as you can see, I'm sectioning her hair off and I'm preparing it for the blow dry. So if you've seen any of my other videos, you already know how this process goes. I start by pre-drying with my comb attachment, and I basically use this to stretch the hair out as much as I can before I put a brush to it, and that way there's less pulling and tugging. And then I go in with my round brush to really stretch out the hair. As you can see, her shrinkage is real, okay? So yeah, I'm going in, stretching the hair section by section, and really smoothing it out as much as possible, especially because her hair is so dense. Like, she has a high density of hair, aka thick. I want to make sure it's as stretched as I can get it so that when I braid it down, I can get the parts as neat as possible. Alright, her hair is completely blow dried, and as we know, children love to hold their heads down at the worst times. So it worked for the very back of her hair because I was setting the guideline, but now that I've moved up on her hair, I'm going to need her to hold her head up. So I'm telling her how to position it and telling her to sit back, hold her phone up, like, make my life easier here. So she did that. And so now I'm going in, taking multiple sections because her hair is really full, right? So I'm taking these sections, trimming her ends, and just really making sure I go through, check my symmetry, check my length, all of that. So you're just seeing a snippet of the haircut, but trust me, this haircut took like 45 minutes, okay? Okay, not the best video, but I'm just showing you that my hands can run through her hair, and just look at all that beautiful hair. This is a healthy set of ends, freshly trimmed. So time to get into the styling. Now it's time for her braids. We're going to be doing crisscross feed-in braids. So the best way I like to go into braiding thick hair is to pre-part. So what I'm doing is I separated the front from the back, and I'm making even sections going vertically down the back so that when I get to the end of her cornrows, they all end with the same amount of hair in each section, instead of, you know, like you run out of hair at the back. No, we don't do that over here. So I pre-part it to avoid those problems, and I highly recommend this for parents at home or even other stylists who are working on kids' hair. It just makes things so much easier. And then I go into the front and pre-part that as well. It is time for the feed-in braids. So I'm going back in and just making sure my front sections align with the back, and then I'm going to start by braiding the innermost section, well, subsection. And this because you want to start from the middle and work your way out, just to ensure that your braids are as even as they can be. A lot of times the hair in the center of the head is thicker than the hair on the outside. So as you can see, I'm going in adding minimal, like really minimal braiding here, just because her hair is so full and her mom doesn't want her hair to be extra bulky with the braids. So yeah, you see them stitches though. You see how fire those are? Yeah, that's from a clean scalp and a really good blow dry. So I'm going in after braiding the front two, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start my crisscross. So I'm just working my way down, and I'm adding hair as I go. Now, one thing I realized after I dipped the hair is I should have added more to the ends. It was just that I didn't want to run out of hair because we didn't have a lot to work with anyway, and her mom wanted it to be a natural size. And then I also added some curly hair at the ends just to give her a little razzle dazzle. And when I tell y'all, she was feeling this. But yeah, anyway, this is such a cute style, and I definitely think it is so child appropriate. It's 6 braids, 3 crisscrosses, and yeah, just watch me finish it up.
Before I go over the edge, oh no, can't jump ahead. I tried my best, just hit a wall instead. I drink then cry, repeat, I can't get out of bed. My heart's dead.
I love how she was filling her hair. But now that we have finished the braids, I'm going in, I'm doing her baby hairs, you know, getting her extra cute, extra cute. And then I'm going to oil her scalp because it's very important that you don't leave your child with dry scalp. And so now I'm just showing me setting the braids. And what I do to set the braids is I use foam. I'm sorry. I use styling foam. So a lot of people use mousse, but mousse is very heavy, and for people whose hair gets buildup easily or who have sensitive scalps, mousse might be too heavy for your hair and your scalp, and it might clog the hair follicles. So I like to go in with styling foam. It's a little more lightweight. It tends to be water-based, and it still does the job, and you can add more without creating so many problems on the hair. So yeah, this is me just going in with the foam, rubbing it down all of the hair, and basically setting the hair. After I've put all the products to set, I put on a wig cap and I let my clients sit under the hooded dryer until the oil and the foam has dried all the way down. So everyone knows I do this at this point. I used to use wrapping strips, but now I use wig caps because my client had bought me a whole bunch of them. But yeah, so make sure you set that style and dry it down. Here's the final style. Make sure you like this video for this kid-friendly and age-appropriate protective style. And I mean, my client liked it, her mom liked it. So make sure you subscribe for more content, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.